Jonathan with Iron Mind Hypnosis here. I don't know if you've noticed some of your friends from time to time change. Sometimes those changes happen swiftly. Maybe it's something traumatic that's happened in their life. Maybe it's something very good that's given them a new insight on life. And some of your friends change slowly. You remember how they were growing up, and you know how they are now. And you like them all the way through, but somehow they're just not the same person. Something's really different. And that's of course natural. I mean, to some extent, that's why we have compulsory schooling in this country, is to change us from certain aspects of how we were to aspects of who we want people to be. That's some of that's learning to read and write, and some of that's learning to behave in certain ways. And same goes for the higher education. Some of that's learning facts, learning types of ways to think about things, and some of it's learning how to interact with other people. But whether through school, through work, through relationships, or sudden insights, or maybe deliberate personal work, people change. And I have the sneaking suspicion that if you're watching me now, you are probably changing. Now, sometimes it happens that you're changing faster than you realize you're changing. And the people around you do the realizing. Maybe they point it out to you, and maybe they keep that secret to themselves. But you're living on Earth, so you got to be changing. Nothing stays the same. That's just the way it works. And if something was staying close to the same, that usually takes a lot of effort to protect it, to isolate it, to restore it to previous specifications. Even machines are hard to keep just the way they always were. And eventually, machines wear. And even well-designed machines, well-maintained machines, need parts replaced. So things change. In the case of living things, they grow. In case of non-living things, they usually wear away. But so long as you're living, you're growing, inside and out. And I'd like to invite you, if it's safe and appropriate to do so, no driving, nothing dangerous, close your eyes, take a deep breath, relaxing. With every breath, letting tension melt away. With every breath, stress just not seeming to be so important right now. Your day is in the past, the future. But this time right now is just for you. Every breath helps you to notice the comfortable support beneath you. The support that will help you to know that you are safe. The sounds around you, helping you to focus on this experience. And my voice will go with you. And I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to go spelunking, to go on a cave adventure, perhaps on your own, or perhaps carefully guided exploration. And oftentimes, there are hard hats, multiple sources of light, even in the most touristy of situations, those intended to see safely to many hundreds of guests in a day. Some caves are quite shallow, and some caves go for miles. And you can follow a guide into a cave, knowing that you're really, in practical reality, in as safe a place as you could really be. And sure, they can be dark and scary, but with adequate lighting and proper planning, and making a point to stay on the marked trail, a cave tour can be an immensely interesting and beautiful journey. And you see, the caves were never intended to see light. The creatures that live in caves, perhaps in the pools, little underground streams, are often blind, with no eyes at all, because there was never intended to be any light for them. They haven't needed light in 1,000 generations of fish or insect. Yet, there's something truly beautiful about their environment if someone brings light to see it. The stalactites hanging from the ceiling, the stalagmites growing from the floor, the columns where these two separate things finally connect, and so many other structures, the sheets, the soda straws, all of these delicate structures, starting small and growing very large and robust. Now, often in the case of a cave or a cavern, that process is quite slow. As water percolates through the stones, dissolving minerals and redepositing them, moving them about. As ever so slow evaporation leaves only the minerals to crystallize in all the places that they do, all those beautiful structures. that were never seen until someone went looking. One drop at a time, a stalactite grows ever so slightly with every drop of water. And likewise, when that drop of water splashes down onto the stalagmite growing from the floor, that also grows ever so slightly. And each of these processes looks still, doesn't seem to be moving at all. When you just take a snapshot, a single visit. Yet over the course of time, sometimes years, sometimes decades, sometimes eons, in the case of sun caves. The stalactites grow, the stalagmites grow. Eventually, they connect, build a strong column of rock from floor to ceiling in a beautiful gallery. And sometimes there can be visitors who come through and get to appreciate that beauty that took so long to form. And it can be nice to host someone who's appreciative, even if they're only there from time to time. And things on the inside can often be their own sort of beautiful, even if they're never seen. And sometimes the spaces inside a cave have interesting acoustic properties. They sound amazing. There's even one with a pipe organ installed. They do concerts deep below the ground. Because these spaces make their own sort of music. They can just be so pleasant to experience. Now, as much fun as a pleasant adventure or a tour can be, perhaps taking some pictures, something to remember your experience by, maybe a selfie with a powerful stalagmite behind you, or a curtain of soda straws hanging from the ceiling. Just something to remember you by. You know, of course, in a real cave, you only take pictures And so, you're only going to take a memory from this place back with you into the waking world. So in a moment, I'll invite you to wake fully into the outside world. And we'll do that on the count of 5. So 1, becoming aware of the seat beneath you, the surface, whatever's supporting you. 2, moving your fingers and toes. 3, doing a big stretch with a deep breath of energy-giving oxygen, filling your lungs to your blood and to all the tissues of your body. 4, like your eyes have been washed with fresh spring water. Your mind clear and focused, sinuses clear, throat clear, voice clear, and lungs clear. And 5, wide awake, ready for whatever the day has for you, feeling fantastic, and knowing that whether anyone sees it, you're changing little by little, and that the directions you've set for yourself are coming into being, one piece at a time. And whether anyone notices, you can know that the effort you're putting into who you are and what you want to see in this world makes a difference every day, even if in small ways that don't get noticed on first look. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.